short message from my sponsor D5T5.com. Mark your calendars, June 21 of this summer. I will be attending Swedish Drive, second year in a row, which is organized by D5T5. Already 125 participants registered, and the number is just growing up. Fill out your information, pay a small fee to enter this special event that I have attended last year, and we will repeat it this year. This is your chance to be in this awesome event, Volvo and Saab owners, and this is your chance to meet me in person and the D5T5.com team that is working hard for the Volvo community. So hopefully I will see you there, and I can't wait to be there. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for D5T5 for sponsoring my channel, and as promised, I'm super excited to bring you this part 1 of the front suspension rebuild on my 09 Volvo XC70 T6 with 142,000 kilometers. This refresh will be in 2 parts. In this video, the part 1, we will disassemble everything, take a look of what parts need to be ordered to make sure I'm ordering the correct stuff, and in the second video we will put everything back together. So hopefully you will enjoy it. I'm gonna put a link in the description below of the rear suspension teardown, which we did last summer. If you haven't watched it, I recommend. Super informative and super fun to watch. So let's begin with tearing down the front suspension. I'm gonna raise the car, support it with jack stands, and I only noticed on the video that the passenger side jack is actually tilted, so I'm gonna go out and actually fix that. This will be definitely not an easy job for a single person on the driveway, on the concrete, to perform this, but I can do it, I promise. We'll do it together. So support the video by hitting like. Don't forget to subscribe while you're watching this video. Now, every time I do tire change, I can see the front bushing on the control arm in this condition. I don't think it's critical, but we're getting there. So to give room, we need to remove the inner wheel well, a couple of screws, Torx 25. Two plastic nuts, 10mm socket. Custom installed zip tie, cut it out. Now the technique is to fold the inner side inwards of the hooks and then just slide the outer inwards, and the liner will come out. I'm gonna spray WD-40 on all the bolts that needs to be removed, except the ones on the subframe there. Fingers crossed that all the bolts will be done with no issues. I don't want to use any heat or grind any nuts and bolts. So let's see.
Hex 7.
Remove the pins that hold in the caliper to the bracket, and the spring is gonna fly into my face. Now this is where you want to be ready. It's heavy, and I'm gonna use a zip tie to tie it up in one of the holes in the frame, and that's gonna be a secure location for that, out of the way, so I can continue working. Now to the pinch bolt on the knuckle, 15mm socket. Let's see if it's gonna go. And it did, thanks God. All the hardware will be renewed. Luckily I have my Volvo 240 to drive around while the car will be on jack stands. ABS sensor, just push on the tab and pull on the connector. Now I did replace the front bearings, so the ball joint will separate super easy. Those bolts were replaced recently. And seems like the pinch bolt for the knuckle and the ball joint bolt are identical.
And hex 5.
Now those end links, the stabilizer bar links, were replaced, and they are TRW, and I think the nut is bigger. It's 16mm. Volvo original, I think it's 15. So yours might be different.
So 21 up top and 218 at the bottom.
So the rear control arm, 2 bolts, hold the control arm to the subframe and the stabilizer bar bushing. Honestly, the bolts and nuts look in pretty good condition, so we'll see, we maybe reuse them. Now to the front bolt of the control arm, just the bolt, no nut. Now this is what I got from Amazon, this steel hook. This will help me pull the control arm down using a pry bar, just like that. And it's a handy, I think it was like $10. And last time I did the bearings, this was a lot harder to detach. Next, using the same pry bar, I'm gonna pry the control arm, first of all up front. And it's out. We'll take a look at the condition a little bit later. A short message before we continue the video. Both modules are available for purchase. The taillights module will activate your vertical lights on your V70 or XC70. I've had it installed for many years and it's a super cool and an easy upgrade for your Volvo. Also, you can order the tailgate module, which will enable you to close the tailgate from the remote or the inside button. Super nice feature. Email your VIN to this email on the screen and enjoy the modules. Let's continue. Now these axle bolts are not reusable, they're stretch bolts, so you must order new ones every time when you take it apart. I'm gonna pull out the axle from behind. And the axle is out. Now we're gonna work on the knuckle and the strut. So we're gonna use this punch tool in the groove. I'm gonna hammer it in until it separates. Now be ready, because it's gonna be super heavy. I just lay it down carefully on the ground, and this method works really well. Makes the job a lot easier, because I know people struggle taking the strut out from the knuckle. The bearings were replaced. Those are the new protective covers. There is a video on the channel. Shock is now up in the air, attached to the body. And I'm gonna take off the stabilizer bar bushing. It looks like I need a pry bar here, which really helps. And now use a screwdriver to separate the bushing apart. And honestly, those bushings are completely fine. Anyway, it's out. I'm gonna order new ones because they are inexpensive. Now we're gonna listen to the strut bearing. When I put the new struts in, we'll compare the noise. Next, I'm gonna open the hood. Parking brake is applied, by the way. And there is some work to do under the hood to reach the strut mounts. I mean the strut from up top. We gotta remove this cowling, and all you have to do is remove those 3 clips to raise the plastic covering just enough to reach these 3 13mm bolts that hold the strut to the tower. And this ratchet is a lifesaver, makes the job so much easier. I'm gonna leave 1 bolt in. I'm gonna hold the strut from the bottom and undo it from the top. And I really hope that the springs are okay, because they are expensive, and definitely we'll need to take it apart and examine the springs for their condition. And looks like there is some surface rust up top, which is minor. We can take care of it later. Yeah, it's not that bad as it seems. Looks like the bolts I will be reusing. Nothing wrong with them. And this is a 16-year-old strut, 142,000 kilometers. Very curious to feel how the shocks function, the condition of the spring and the spring seats and the bearing. So we'll take this apart later and take a look. Now to the other side, I'm gonna just show you a couple of more shots from the other side. Same method with a different punch tool. Works like a charm. And we're gonna listen now to the driver's side strut bearing. And this completes the teardown. It's a big mess in my garage. Now I'm gonna take apart everything and I'm gonna take a look at the condition of the front suspension bits and pieces to examine them. I have this tool laying around for many years and it was a struggle to compress the spring. It wasn't enough to fully compress it, so I'm gonna be looking at a different tool while I'm ordering parts. So fingers crossed I'm gonna find a good one that will make this job easier. Now I had to order this special socket. It's called hollow 18mm socket that you will need to remove the top strut nut. And you'll need to use this 6mm Allen wrench. And that didn't get loose, not enough leverage. So I'm gonna use an impact gun just to loosen the nut to begin. And as I said before, the spring is not fully compressed, so there is still some tension on the whole assembly. Now the strut mount and the strut bearing are two separate parts to purchase. And looks like I'll need a screwdriver because it kinda got glued to the rubber mount here. And you have to be really careful because the spring is under tension, so you want to use caution here. Now let's take a look at the condition of the spring, and unfortunately they're rusted. The coating is flaking away and looks like that's gonna be some more dollar monies out of the pocket. Those springs are 350 Canadian dollars each. So it looks like I'm looking at $700. I really hope that they will be okay. The mount rusty, but the rubber inside looks good. This rubber piece looks completely fine. Probably gonna reuse that. What about the bump stop? Looks good. Looks in good condition. It didn't fall apart or anything. So they are actually expensive, those bump stops. Let's take a look at the bearing. I'm gonna open it up and I want to see the condition of it. There is ball bearings inside with some grease, and I know that they can go bad and rust away. And surprisingly, I'm gonna show you, they're completely fine. This could definitely be re-greased and reused, but if you're in here already and everything is apart, I recommend just put new bearings. And that's what I'm gonna do. The boot is also not cheap. I'll just wash it off and reuse it. And here are the original Volvo shocks. The bottom rubber spacer for the spring looks in good condition. They're not expensive, but when you multiply it by 4, it's gonna be $100. The shock, surprisingly, doesn't collapse, and it's super stiff all the way out and super stiff all the way in. Doesn't look like they have ever leaked. Yes, they don't come out on their own, but they're fully functional. So surprisingly, for this mileage and how many winters I've driven the car on our bad roads, the shocks are in good condition. That's the other side bearing, completely fine, no grinding. And the other shock functions exactly like the other one. So both of them are identical to my feel.
So this is the
And the other
right
spring,
side spring.
take a look. I've grinded off the rust and there is a crack. So yeah, definitely will be getting new springs, and that's good that I took everything apart,
And there is a crack.
and then I'm gonna order all the correct parts that are needed. Control arm, the front bushing that's visible when you change your tires or wheels. Yes, it's cracked, but honestly I don't think it affects the ride quality in any way. So if you see those cracks like you see on mine, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because at -30, no surprise, the rubber starts getting those cracks over time. Let's take a look at the ball joint. I'm gonna cut away the boot. Honestly, the ball joint is also pretty tight. Lots of grease inside, no rust, no water. So after all those years and all those kilometers, no issues there. Now the last bushing is oil filled, and only Volvo original control arms will have the oil filled bushing, so let's find out. If you get any aftermarket control arm for your Volvo, this style, this bushing will not be oil filled, it will be just rubber and metal. So I don't want to sacrifice ride quality, I will be ordering original Volvo control arms. And here is the promised oil-filled bushings, and it smells nasty. If you notice any oil on your control arms on the car, replace the control arms. It's time. And looks like the oil is filled in this metal cap and it's sealed around this rubber bushing. So inside here it's all oil filled. And that's a really surprising design. I've never honestly thought that this kind of bushings will be oil filled. This completes the first part of the suspension refresh up front. For now, the axles are suspended, the knuckles are supported, the car will be on jack stands, the parts are on order, and comment below any advice, any suggestions that you can give me. It will be interesting to read your opinion. And anything that you can add, maybe that I've done wrong or right. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Keep an eye on the channel for the second part, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye, guys.